That's it, too.
It's already.
That should be.
I'm on the one.
Nice to meet you. Right. So, thanks guys for coming today. Thank you to everyone who dialed in over Zoom as well. I'm gonna try to remember that everybody's there and talk to the camera too. But we wanted to have today's lunch and learn because people keep asking questions like, what the beef am I gonna eat on this detox? And I think as soon as people hear the word detox, it's a very common misconception that you're not gonna be able to eat anything, that everything's gonna be taken away from you, you're gonna drink these shakes, you're gonna do this, and that people think it's really impossible. It's not. I literally just had this conversation with my mom last night because she came to last night's info session. She wants to be part of our program, the wellness program. She's like, I just don't know if I can do it. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna eat? Like, there's so many things that you can do and can eat, and the things that we're taking away just come so gradually. It's just about retraining your brain and your body to change the things you want and realize all of the things that you can have. So we'll talk about some of that stuff today. I'm not going to go over this in a lot of detail because I think everyone has, at some point, had the conversation with Dr. Patil about what exactly this detox is. We're just really trying to repair your body, gut, liver on a cellular level. So there are different phases of the detox, and it's all supported with your gut cleanse and your supplements to just your body back in balance, focusing on eliminating the toxins and the things that are cramping up your liver, your kidneys, your gut, and your skin. That's the sciencey stuff that Dr. Patil can talk about. Where we want to talk today and where I love to come in and go, okay, now what? You told me what we're doing, we know what the goals are, but what am I supposed to eat? And I literally think about food constantly, like all day, every day. What am I gonna make for breakfast today? What am I gonna have for lunch? What am I making for dinner? So this is my area that I love to talk about, food and what we're gonna eat. So starting any kind of wellness program or the detox, we want to just go through the baby steps to keep it as simple as possible. And I think when you log into the program, it does a great job of focusing on baby steps with this gradual elimination. If you came in and I was like, okay, day one, you gotta stop eating sugar, gluten, dairy, eggs, this, and this, you'd be like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So, you know, it just puts you in the wrong mentality. So when you start the program and it says, okay, week one, eliminate sugar. Okay, that's tough, but I can do it. Then week two, you eliminate gluten, and then, or caffeine, you know, whatever it is. We're doing it in baby steps so it doesn't seem overwhelming to everyone. The other thing we want to talk about, the number one thing for success is building in prep time and having a plan. If you don't prepare things in advance, if you're sitting there being like, I'm hungry, what am I gonna eat? You're more likely to go for something that you're probably not supposed to have right now. Or you're like, well, I'm driving around, go to Chick-fil-A, and then not realizing you have all this good stuff that you've prepared back at your house. We wanna talk about prepping and having a plan, batch cooking, talk about that too. I take some time, ideally on like a Sunday or Monday, and just make a whole lot of stuff. And even what I brought today are examples of what I probably would make during the week. And then if I'm hungry, I take some soup, I throw some protein in it, I throw the vegetables that I have prepared ahead of time. I've roasted a whole bunch of stuff over the weekend. So like, I don't like to pre-cook greens like spinach or Swiss chard or anything like that, because I don't like mushy greens. I like to do those when I'm going to eat them. But everything else, veggie-wise, I like to have them prepared. I like to have my bases done. And then when you're hungry, you just mix and match whatever is in your fridge. So batch cooking and preparation are going to be really ideal. Use leftovers creatively. If you were making that shredded beef for your family in the crock pot for dinner, put some away before my kids eat it all and save it for your lunch tomorrow. Like, use whatever you can from dinner the night before, or even breakfast and lunches the next day. Shopping in bulk for certain things and then encouraging the whole household to get on board. like really important too, because if you're making all these amazing healthy meals for yourself and your partner, I'm gonna do something way off. I'm not gonna watch you eat pasta while I sit here and eat my vegetables. So hopefully encouraging everyone in your household to join as well. When we're doing the detox, by default, a lot of the times the proteins that we might be cooking contain those healthy fats. In like regular life, I'm always like, we have to find a balance of protein, fat, and carbs. For the detox, and when you're in this program, you really want to just focus on getting all your servings of vegetables and having as much healthy fat as possible. You're inevitably going to get some proteins when you're making these meals and mixing and matching it, but we're not like hyper focused on the protein aspect of what we're eating right now. Sometimes proteins are hard to digest, so you might even want to ease up on some of the proteins. Make sure you have enough, make sure you're getting your healthy fats in the form of your animal fats or proteins, but really focus on the vegetables as our carbohydrates and the good healthy fats. I like joke around that olive oil like runs through my veins, especially when I'm doing the detox with everything. Olive oil, I'm snacking on olives, like all of that. So important to get those healthy fats in there.
I can say a little bit here. The concept of detox is different than how your regular food is going to look like. Because nobody is going to stay in a detox forever, right? It's only a phase to reset your metabolism. So when we're so used to hearing, oh, you have to eat proteins, you have to eat this, go low on carbs, blah, blah, blah. That's after we have established a detox and cleaned our system. Now our system is ready to take on more. But before we have cleaned, if we are taking on more, especially protein, that might actually cause an imbalance. So which is why we're like, the whole concept is let go of all the things that are stressing out your GI system, make it so easy for the GI system to do that reset on its own, and now you reintroduce it. So which is why it may feel a little different than what you're used to hearing. So the easiest thing to remember is, don't worry about it. It's all laid out for you. Just follow the instructions.
Because in each detox, this is the AIP allowed foods, and this is the regular detox allowed food. You have animal protein, like different proteins are allowed on each one of the detox. Because for someone, I exercise a lot, and I'm always like, oh, I only ate 30 grams of protein today, or like something like that, and I might not feel energetic because I'm doing so much exercise. Don't focus on that when you're in the detox. You're inevitably going to be eating some proteins, but focus on your vegetables and fats when you're kind of creating your meals.
What's the difference between the two?
So these are two different protocols.
Okay,
The one you're using is the regular protocol.
the first one.
The other one, the AIP is the autoimmune protocol that I use only for specific people.
And we were talking about it before. There was a lot of like vegetables and things that you probably can eat that aren't specifically on this list. On the AIP side, they've really tried to list everything because you can't have pepper and curry and spices and certain things like that on the AIP. So they're just trying to make it more thorough of what you can eat, because there are more things that you can't on the AIP.
Correct.
Nightshade, like no tomatoes and pepper and things like that for longer. Okay, so going back a second, we want to change our focus, not thinking about what we can't eat anymore. Think about what we can eat. Looking at our list of things that we get in our program and say, okay, here's all the things that I can do. What can I build with all of these materials? Okay. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't like vegetables. What am I supposed to do? Any vegetables that you like let's make a list of at least maybe like 3 vegetables that you can say like, all right, I enjoy these 3 vegetables. And then that's your starting point. And that's what we build from when we're working to create meals. And maybe you want to be adventurous and try some more after that. So there's gotta be some to start with, some vegetables that we eat. And then embrace the routine. This isn't gonna last forever. I actually like just kind of being prepared and knowing what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be eating. And Karen and I were talking about when you get to the point in the program where you're eating the shakes, people are always, well, what am I gonna do? That's actually the best part, is you don't have to think about anything. You're, at one point, you're eating a shake for breakfast, your lunch, whatever you want, and then another shake for dinner. I'm like, those were the easiest 5 days of the whole thing, because I didn't have to think about anything. I had all of my food prepped. I had a nice big fat lunch of all my vegetables and sweet potatoes and everything, and then I was still kind of full when I ate my shake at dinner. So those are easy if you think about it, like, this is my routine, I don't have to think about anything else right now. Good to go. There's also resources in your program also. There's like a recipe section. Talked about ChatGPT. It's like best friends with ChatGPT now. You can take, whatever you have either on your list or in the fridge and just say, hey, what can I make with these 5 ingredients? And we'll list the whole thing for you with recipes, how to cook, everything. So using the resources that we have, and just keep reviewing the list of foods that you're allowed to eat. My favorite thing to talk about still is, like I said in the kitchen before, I just love mixing things together and seeing what I come up with. And a lot of times it might not look really pretty, but it tastes absolutely delicious. So you start with a base, and people will come in and say, what am I gonna do if I can't eat rice for the next 3 months? Or what am I gonna do if I can't eat pasta for the next 3 months? Like, that's such a big part of some people's diet, and I get it. Love starches, I love starches, but maybe try a different one. Try an acorn squash or a butternut squash mash or a Japanese sweet potato. There are bases and starches and things like that that you can completely have on the detox. And then if you want to pick a protein, I'll show you something too that I made where my base was just wanted like a different texture, and the farmer's market had these giant Brussels sprouts, and I shaved them with the food processor to make like almost like a Brussels sprout slaw. And I sauteed it literally for like a minute in a pan of olive oil, and that was like a big base of my bowl. I just threw a whole bunch of other vegetables and some chicken on top of it, and that's like 5 meals probably in a row. So your base is your protein. Make sure you're getting your at least two servings of cooked vegetables in there. Careful, very careful with detox dressing. I just oil and vinegar on everything to keep it simple. And then top it off with some toppings. If you're doing the regular program, you can have nuts the whole time for a snack. So chop some nuts on it, throw it on there. Microgreens are another way to get extra veggies and fresh herbs just to kind of brighten up your meal. It's all about mixing and matching, trying to put as much goodness onto your plate as possible. So I want to talk a little bit more about specifically ideas, what I've been eating, what you guys have been eating that you love, and then see if we can do some brainstorming on how we can get some fresh ideas integrated into our detox routine. God bless you. So I go to the Winter Garden Farmers Market almost every Saturday morning. I bring my wagon, bumping into people, the kids are running all over the place, but I mean, I get a haul like every week of really good stuff that everyone in the family likes. So I try to load up on berries, on Swiss chard, on Brussels sprouts, like zucchini, whatever I can find. The butternut squash, the acorn squash, and the Japanese sweet potatoes that I made today, I just got them all at the farmer's market, and they're not super expensive either. So I load up for the week. For breakfast, put the picture of the egg in there because everybody on the program can have eggs up until I believe week 4. I started making this almost every day for breakfast. I go over to Lake Meadow Naturals Farm also, and they have called Farmer's Blend, and it's ground beef, and it has a little bit of bacon in it too. Okay. So I brown that up in a pan. I mix my acorn squash with it. You don't have to put meat in that. Just making my acorn squash. Yeah. I do my spinach, my zucchini, fry an egg on top, and that was my breakfast probably for like 3 to 4 weeks, like almost every day. I just batch cook the squash, so I have it already, warm it up, cook some spinach, fry an egg on top. Then when I got to week 4, I just take the egg away, and I'm still looking forward to that really good, I was doing the AIP, so I could have bacon for the whole time, which was great. I like bacon. It was just a really good breakfast. Doesn't have to be like a sweet breakfast. And we were just talking about how in America, I think people are like so inclined to think that they have to grab a Pop-Tart or like a muffin or something sweet for breakfast. Like, we can have a really delicious savory breakfast with or without the eggs.
Surprisingly, back home in India, most of our breakfasts are typically very savory.
Yeah.
We don't think sweet for breakfast at all.
Sweet potatoes for breakfast are delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But also one thing you can add is some sort of a fermented product. Like if you can, fermented mean pickles, sauerkraut, or any fermented dough, whenever you're not eliminating gluten. So fermentation also helps improve the gut microbiome. And if we introduce fermentation very early in our diet, in our day, that sets the tone for the day. So especially if people have issues with bloating, I would say have a fermented product in the morning first, so it can last throughout the day. So for you, Tina, a dosa batter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to make. I can tell you places where you can buy it fresh and literally just make a pancake out of it done. It's so easy. So, well, I'm telling her husband's Indian, so I was telling her. Absolutely, anything to go. Yes, eat kimchi, or if nothing, then kombucha or something to begin with. Just make sure there's not much sugar if you're buying from outside, like a kombucha. Yeah.
My like number one terror barrier to break through when we started talking about detox was coffee. Like in the morning, what am I gonna do without my coffee? Like I just didn't know if I was actually gonna survive that, and I did. But now I did 2 years ago, I did the regular detox, and then I just did the AIP detox. I had a latte this weekend and it was like wonderful, but I also realized that maybe a lot of dairy like doesn't agree with me, so I'm just gonna have my lattes on the weekend. But what I did start doing, and I'm like completely obsessed, I have a glass of bone broth like every morning instead of coffee. Because it wasn't even that I was dependent on caffeine, it was just, I wake up like a half hour hopefully before my kids do, so I could just sit there in quiet and have my warm latte, and like that was just my thing. That was my like ritual, that warmth. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go drink anything. How am I going to the bathroom? So I have my bone broth, which I swear by this brand. I think it's the best bone broth I ever tasted in my whole life. If you are doing AIP, unfortunately, you won't be able to have it because they do put pepper in some of the bone broth flavors. You get a subscription to this, and it comes in individual like little packets, 1 cup each. I pop it in a mug and put it in the microwave. It is like my favorite part of my morning now. And it's a nice, healthy way to start the day. It feels really good on your gut. Bone broth is the key. I'm not a food photographer like at all, but decided I was going to show you things that I've been doing. Hi.
Oh, we were just showing your pictures. No, you can have a seat.
Your picture.
Ah, we haven't got into her kitchen.
Thank you.
So, again, mixing things together, bowls. I like to blanch asparagus, and I make like different kinds of dips with like coconut milk and things like that as a snack for myself. So once I could eat a couple like spices and things, I just did coconut milk, a couple other things. I have this like little curry powder, mix it up, make a dip, and I dip my blanched asparagus in there. And then I'm back to my bowls again. I took flank steak made for dinner. We only ate half of it, and I chopped it up and ate it for days after, and I put it in my container with whatever vegetables I had on hand. These are my shaved Brussels sprouts with the flank steak. I added beets this time, so like beets, zucchini, all different kinds of vegetables for that bowl. Cauliflower rice is a big thing that I make when I'm doing a detox as a replacement to regular rice, and the different version of that beef I brought in the back where I was still allowed to have some peppers. I did peppers and onions in the crock pot with the beef and capers, and I think that for a long time too.
Capers, another fermented food. Or, olives in vinegar. Anything that goes in vinegar stays there. Jalapenos. So everything of that nature is better for your gut microbiome.
With the beets that I get too, sometimes you can just buy like a ready cooked beets, but there's a kind that they're in white vinegar also, as long as it doesn't have any added sugar in it. I would say when you're looking at pickles and things like that, read the label, because some brands might try to sneak some sugar in there. As long as it doesn't have sugar, good to go. And then went over to El's house last week. Meal prep, just know what to eat. So we did our food shopping and we did potatoes. We roasted a whole bunch of different colored cauliflower. We sauteed a ton of zucchini to have on hand. I made the acorn squash with the different meat mixture for pieces of breakfast, lunch, anything. Grilled a whole bunch of chicken thighs. This one is spaghetti squash with a turkey meat sauce. So if your family's like, I'm having pasta tonight, forget you, mom. That's fine. I can have my spaghetti squash with my turkey meat sauce instead. And it's like tricking yourself into thinking that you're having pasta too. So spaghetti squash is a really good one for like bases of things as a replacement to rice or pasta.
There's another thing called sweet potato noodles.
Yes.
That also you can use as a base. It's available in the ethnic island public.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yep.
Right?
Which is what I have here. Going out to eat, not gonna lie, it can be difficult when you are doing a detox. We went out and I was that person where I was like, can I please have this salad, but with the salmon, can you just make sure you don't put anything on it? And can I have the dressing on the side? Because I brought my own dressing. And can you not put the cheese on it? So much, but you have to do it. I know I'm not annoying, it says I'm doing this thing and sorry, like, you know, bear with me for.
Honestly, it's like that even when he's not on.
Yeah. But we did find where, going to steak. Especially during the AIP, you can have red meat the whole time, just ask for your steak, like plain with no pepper or anything on it. Steamed broccoli or steamed asparagus on the side. I took a picture of that because I go to Hot Pot like literally at least once a week, and I called the place first to make sure that all of their broths are gluten-free, soy-free, like nothing added. They're literally just, they have an herbal one, they have a chicken one, they have like a bone, whatever. And there's this whole big bar of just vegetables and all different kinds of mushrooms and proteins and everything that you can put in your pot. Just don't go to the sauce bar if you're on a detox, because every sauce has soy or MSG in it, and yes, that is delicious, but you do not want to eat that while you're doing the detox. So last week I brought my little jar of coconut aminos, which is a soy sauce replacement. And I throw it in there. Again, because not only does it like taste good, my fingers didn't blow up or anything. I'm done eating. I felt really good. And last time I used the sweet potato noodles, which were been super filling. So that's what I'm eating. Now we can just talk about what you guys have thoughts on, questions on, ideas, anything that's been.
You can make anything we had here and I would be happy. He's the cook.
You're lucky. I hide cooking.
One thing it should not be is overwhelming.
Yeah.
At no point should it feel overwhelming. So, that's why in the curriculum, it's laid very simple, like literally 1 week at a time. And at any point, if you do feel overwhelmed, that's exactly what we're here for.
Yeah.
So you would call us, you would say, okay, I read this, can't wrap my head around it. What could be easy? Like you came back, he has a different problem. He said, I'm so creative, I'm running out of ideas. And I'm like, great, that's a good problem to have. So Michelle, maybe you can address his concern about that. Is he did a very regimented meal prep for the last year.
Okay.
But now he knows he's kind of tired. So he wants more variety.
Yeah, I'm getting a little burned out over the monotony of the same thing routinely.
What's your go-tos? Like what are you?
Meal prep's basically chicken, rice, and a green.
Okay.
Or like a chicken burrito bowl with like black beans and salsa.
Yeah. I personally cannot eat chicken anymore unless it's like a grilled chicken thigh from time to time, because chicken breast, you won't forget it, because I think when you do meal prep, I think that's the number one go-to thing, especially in a bowl with rice or something like that. So hopefully maybe get on the sweet potato acorn squash train.
I bought a couple of bags of sweet potatoes
Okay.
a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
That's where the sweet potato for breakfast comes in.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah,
And I don't want to say it's great.
Yeah.
But I already, throughout the week, I already was like, okay, I can't do another sweet potato.
yeah.
I just gotta do something different.
I love squashes. I love the acorn
But,
squash.
okay.
Squash. Acorn squash too, you don't have to just mash it like that. You can actually eat the skin of it because it's super thin. If you slice it into ring and roast it, you can keep the ring whole and then put, you know, vegetables or something like that in the middle of it and just eat it all together. Acorn squash is a good one. Butternut squash, kombucha squash, so you just probably see a lot more in the fall than you might see right now, but squashes are great.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes are great. Not even just the orange sweet potatoes, but if you go to the farmer's market or to Whole Foods or something, they have purple sweet potatoes and white sweet potatoes that are a little bit different flavor wise than the regular orange sweet potato. So if you're like, yeah, this might, sometimes it almost might feel too sweet after you haven't been eating any other forms of sugar. So you're like, well, I don't want this sweet potato. You try the white one or the purple one, it's just a different flavor profile.
It's like a cross between a white potato and a sweet potato.
Yeah,
So if you're missing white potatoes, white sweet potatoes are a great,
yeah,
great thing to have.
yeah. And then, going more towards, like, if you're doing meal prep and you want that base, cauliflower rice.
You should come sweet.
Yeah.
Really good tasting.
But spaghetti, the turkey spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti squash with a turkey,
Ground turkey.
ground turkey
Yeah.
bolognese, basically. And I don't even make my own sauce during the week. I only do that on Sundays. I buy a jar of Rayo's sauce, there's no sugar in it, and it's like, for me, I'm a very pasta sauce snob. That's the only one that I will buy in a jar.
Isn't still as good as it used to be since it got bought out?
Yeah,
Is it?
I think so.
Okay,
And it still doesn't have sugar in it, which
Okay.
is the most important. So I take my ground turkey in the pan, pour the jar on top, and then mix it with the spaghetti squash.
And another, if you're looking for recipes, like if you're like, okay, what recipes can I even focus on for detox? A general rule of thumb, if you look for paleo recipes, you have to kind of watch some of the ingredients. And for the most part, for like the regular program, it's got a lot of the eliminations in it already. You can, any kind of thing you're missing, you just put it in the search, like whatever it is that you're wanting. Put it in paleo in the search and it'll come up with a ton of recipes. So it's a good place to start. And just make sure, like I said, you find ones that whatever phase of elimination that you're in, it doesn't have those ingredients. For AIP, there are tons of resources. Just look for AIP recipes online and there's tons of websites that have really, really good recipes. So, you know, AIP is easy, just watch the sugar stuff because maple syrup and some of the sugars are still in it. Just make sure you have ingredients but for the most part, all the AIP
Yeah.
stuff is compliant. So.
With the spaghetti squash too, I love playing with it like all different ways. We made something, we call it faux Fredo, and I didn't take a picture of it because everybody ate it and it's really not the best, like, picture. It's not. Speaking that, I did Fredo, where I did the spaghetti squash, you shred it all up. I take a can of coconut milk, which is an amazing healthy fat for you to have during the detox. And I put it in the saucepan. I throw in garlic powder, onion powder, and salt. So it takes the sweetness away from the coconut milk and it has a little bit of a creamy consistency. Now, if you eat meat, you can throw shredded chicken in there. I put pancetta and then put the coconut milk in it, so it has a little bit of a bacony flavor. And I mixed it with the spaghetti squash, and I threw spinach in there. It looked like crap, but my family devoured it. Like, it was delicious. So this is one of the things that you might not have thought about, but like making something that like feels like a creamy sauce out of coconut milk, and just putting like savory flavors in it is really tasty.
what is the stuff on the top right?
Or chicken.
That
Yeah.
chicken thighs. Yeah, There's a brand of marinade that I really, I think it's called like
It's a,
Dress It Up.
yes, that's what it is.
They sell it at Whole Foods and there's different flavors. If you look at the ingredients, there's no sugar, it's all olive oil. It's one of the only dressings that I've ever found that has olive oil in it and not some kind of seed oil. But they have like a balsamic, no, they have an apple cider vinegar dressing slash marinade that I use when I grill chicken or if I'm making any kind of salad or something like that. It's pretty good. So we cooked a couple of chicken thighs in that marinade. Cauliflower, roasting it is a big one for me. I love it and it's hearty, like really filling. So if you want to feel a little extra full and you're like, oh, it's finished, so boring, like wilty, cauliflower.
And you can buy, like cauliflower florets in a bag, you don't even have to
Yeah.
spend time chopping.
Yeah,
So, and my family loves broccoli.
yeah,
So we just buy 2 bags of broccoli, put it on a sheet pan,
Yeah.
roast it, and all I have to do is put it on the island, it's done the next.
yeah.
Yeah.
When,
So, literally, it's so easy.
yeah. You can find this at Whole Foods, but the farmer's market, the guys had this like on and off for the last month. It's called, Romanesco. Have you guys ever had that? It is wild. It's huge and it looks like cauliflower and broccoli mated. And it's has almost like a nutty flavor to it, but I was walking wagon, everybody's like, what is that? And what are you going to do with it? And I was like, I literally did exactly what I did with the cauliflower. I just chopped it up into like florets almost, oil and pepper, roasted it in the oven, and it was huge. I ate it for a very long time. I'm lucky my kids really like vegetable too, because they can eat all of this stuff that I cook, so.
You're very lucky.
They liked. So, yeah, I mean, get creative, just look at what's available and ask ChatGPT. what you think. Yeah.
Tons of resources. Even if you master like 3 or 4 recipes out of that, that's 4 more things you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, there's also some things in the resource section where they tell you if you don't have the time to cook, what can you buy?
Mhm.
You grab and go more.
Yeah.
Easier to do in the initial phases.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a brand of, the chicken and apple sausage. Do you know the brand name?
Yeah, Applegate.
Applegate.
Applegate and,
It starts with an A.
yeah. Adele's.
Yeah,
something
Dells
like
or
that.
something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
that-
pronounce it.
So until you can knock on apple anymore,
Mhm.
which is the greater or. But,
Yeah.
Fine.
5.
yeah, eating those in the morning too, for breakfast. Sausages with really like zucchini, I have zucchini all the time, but like zucchini and spinach to have your vegetables and grab a sausage and you're good to go.
What about like a savory muffin? What would you use as the base of that for a gluten-free option, grain-free option? Could you even like a savory muffin? Say if like you wanted to have something that you had time for, you can freeze them and microwave them in the morning if you're like grab and go. Instead of buying something.
It's a good
Almond
recipe for
flour. Almond flour.
Oh, almond flour.
Almond
that's
flour is
okay.
good.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
perfect.
Not for AIP.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
like something
Yeah,
to
to
bind
bind
it. You can't have eggs after a certain
Yeah.
point too. But, if you're doing like coconut flour, maybe a little bit of coconut oil with a potato, something.
And then meat
Try
and
to,
Mix it up.
You can put in ChatGPT, I want to make almond flour savory muffins
Yes.
without eggs.
Yes.
And it'll, or whatever ingredients you want to have in it, and it'll put together a
Yeah,
recipe.
okay.
We do, like in my home, I don't like regular pancakes
Mm,
because I think that's like a gluten overload.
yeah,
So when I'm making pancakes, I just use almond flour.
yeah.
And they're good.
Because they just don't come out way too fluffy,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
the taste is way better.
yeah.
And you're getting your healthy fat. You're getting
Yeah,
your fat,
yeah.
so.
Mm,
done that.
Yeah, it's a little hard. It gets gummy.
Easier
Is
for
it?
me.
AIP is a little more difficult with the baking
Mm.
department, but
Okay.
it's possible.
Almond flour.
Public says good, Red Mill is the brand.
Yes, that's,
Mhm.
yeah,
Green Wise organic,
yeah,
which is buy in bulk and it lasts in bulk.
Yeah.
okay.
And you can make crepes out of that, you can
Mhm.
make pancakes, you can make muffins, so many things.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
waffles, you like waffles, right?
Mm,
No? No, okay.
That help for it?
Yeah, yeah, so that we-
Okay.
What are the questions then?
What about Ezekiel bread? You know that bread?
Yes.
Some bread, is that?
We do recommend that.
Um,
There's a 3 or 4 varieties within that.
there's
There's a
a
sprouted green,
green. AIP, you can't do that.
Yeah, and you
It's not
can't
gonna-
have it
but-
during the full-blown detox,
Yes.
because it does have gluten in
Yes.
it and soy. So you do have to just, but it is a good high, for you and what you're doing, it is a high quality.
For Linda.
For you, it's good, yeah. But if you're in the detox phase, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, put you in that unit. So Linda's fine.
It is.
First 3 weeks, it's great.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, before you give up gluten.
I stopped buying bread from the supermarket completely and we just go to like the farmer's market or the farm in Ocoee and been buying like sourdough from there. And made a huge difference, like even in the kids, like the way they're eating and digesting it. You know, they won't tell me like I'm not bloated anymore, but like I know that, you know, that it is such a better alternative. It is called Lake Meadow Natural, and it's in Ocoee. I take the 429 and then I get off at. I'm not sure
Clarcono,
which-
Coe. I think it's off of Clarcono,
Yeah.
Coe.
Yeah,
It's just right off of there.
yeah. Lake
In
Meadow
Ocoee.
Natural. I've been Lake Meadow Natural. Been getting all of our eggs there, mostly all of our meat there, and then you can feed the animals and stuff like that.
Has everybody downloaded the Yuka app?
No.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
Yuka app?
So that's where you can scan, or the other is EWG, whichever ones. It's an app that you scan your product and it tells you how
The
much
ingredients.
preservatives it has.
Ah, great, yeah,
So. I can show you.
okay.
It's a great way to shop for everything. Basically, even you can scan your cosmetics, you can scan for, your beauty products, your food.
Amazing.
Yeah, so then it tells you, not only does it tell you what endocrine blockers it has, it also shows you what's a better alternative.
Oh, that's good.
So I'll show you one in my history here.
How do you spell it?
Yuka, Y-U-K.
Oh, why?
It's look like that.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So I
Now you
was,
now you gotta go do all the shopping.
for example, I wanted body wash, right?
Mm.
So let's see Dove, but it is showing so many risk factors. So then so I scanned a couple of them and then I finally found Aveeno that they said no harmful parabens or endocrine
That's good.
blockers,
Great.
something like that. So you should do it too.
Rita says pretty dresses.
Does anyone who's online have a question? You guys can put it in the chat. Cassandra, Rita, if you have a question, feel free to add and we'll answer it.
It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Cassandra says she's good, so
She's done, okay.
thank you, Cassandra.
Do you guys have any ideas you want to share? You'd really loved to eat on your own?
I haven't started other than just the cleanse
Yeah.
drink.
Okay.
My husband was on the initial starting it. He's a big coffee drinker. But he's Indian,
Yeah.
so we do a lot of Indian food. So
Okay.
it's either Indian, Italian, Mexican. Is pretty much, and then we do like our own homemade black bean burgers and just throw veggies and
Nice.
stuff like that. But I saw him go towards who was it that said, oh, that week is gonna be tough. And he was like, And he was like, we're vegetarians, so we do mostly vegetarian things. I do have some bread lovers, my daughter specifically
Yeah.
loves, like, she can go to Italy and do the cooking there, she would
Yeah.
love that, but she loves any kind of pastas.
Yeah.
Asians in general eat a lot of rice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or that we can't really have that here. So my husband's already done the walk over to cauliflower.
I was gonna say, my husband, he is British, so Indian food is his favorite type of food. He gets it delivered all the time. Like, have the cauliflower, right? No. Really, like, crazy. So I don't wanna be bloated for days. I just put the cauliflower rice in and then I put my korma on top and I'm like, good. I don't miss it, you know? It's great, so that's good.
Yeah.
They like a bread. Try to switch to more like a fermented bread, like a sourdough bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do sourdough.
Yeah.
That's-
And keep mixing it up. Give them a few days gluten-free,
Mhm.
then introduce, then
Yeah.
give them a few days gluten-free, something of that nature,
Yeah.
so it doesn't cause a buildup.
Yeah.
Right,
So it's the
But-
buildup that causes all the problem.
right,
That's why we have to keep switching it up,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know? And gluten never used to be a problem until like 40 years ago, when they did the GMO. They switched the genetic composition of wheat.
And what they spray on it too,
all
sometimes
this
a lot of people, because you've heard, and I've done it too. You can go to Italy and eat pasta and bread for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you never felt
Yeah,
bloated or bad at all. And it's a different kind of wheat and they don't process it the same way
right.
that we do here, which is why I kind of started buying all of our bread from the market. I feel like it's just better ingredients and less crap in it than
Well,
when
and
you
it's
get it
out
at the
there,
store.
it's true,
Yeah.
right? So Nabisco, they make a cereal in the UK. and
Questions
has
in the
certain
chat?
Sandra
things
is mentioning
like
that she's got a sourdough
Yeah.
starter,
no
if anyone wants to.
here.
Oh,
But
okay.
So we can share that.
Sandra, we're gonna share that. A particular brand of coconut milk, yes, you have.
Oh, okay, does someone else that? I can't see.
Yeah.
Vita.
All right,
So they
I'll
can
address
do it.
that.
Yes, Vita and Cassandra, we're gonna
Yeah.
address your questions in a second. So, Vita has a question about Spurs, particular brand for coconut, and I think you have the answer.
Yeah, well, the best ultimate one is called Thai Too Simple. It's just coconut and water, and that's it. It doesn't have any additives, fillers, so it can be used in AIP or through the regular 6. Yeah, it's coconut milk and it comes in like a small carton, like, and you get 4 cups out of it. And it's nice because you can seal it back up and not use it all at
So
once.
could you, take a picture of that? Look it up on the phone and text it to Vita,
Yes,
so she can.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
Okay, you know, like if you're trying to make a sauce or something like that, go for like the can.
Well, that's the same. It's the same as canned. It's exactly what you get in a can, but it comes in a carton.
Got it.
And what's nice about it is it doesn't have the fillers in it. It doesn't have anything to thicken it. It's just it's regular, it's just like thick coconut milk, but it doesn't solidify. Stays, well, it is the same exact thing. So, yeah. Thai, it's called Thai Too Simple, like number 2, simple. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yep.
And I you know, you get it, I ordered mine from Amazon, but you can, I believe I've seen it at Walmart, on occasion.
And Cassandra is graciously offering a sourdough starter to whoever wants it. Okay, so. Get in there. Oh, Michelle wants it, Cassandra will get you in touch with her.
love it. I've never baked bread before, so
We could start.
I've always wanted to.
All right, she
Find
said
it
she'll
again.
bring it to the office so we could share it. Which items to use to kill the sweetness for savory dishes? Oh, for coconut milk. So,
Oh, what I put in there?
yeah,
Just onion powder and salt. A lot, I go heavy on the onion powder. I mean, that takes it,
takes out that sweetness, yeah, because it does.
yep.
Did you get that, Rita?
Also, if you have like just Italian seasoning, like, you know, basil and oregano too, put that in there too.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. I like to use coconut milk. I did in the beginning to make soups. I would just use bone broth, cook some broccoli, blend it with a can of coconut milk and add some salt, and it was a great soup. And I would just have something on the side with it too.
Yeah.
And we could use cauliflower, broccoli, any kind of vegetable,
Yeah.
any vegetable you want to make a, That way you're getting your vegetables, you're getting your healthy fat, boom,
Yeah.
really simple, and it's very, very satiating because of the coconut milk is very filling.
Yeah.
Clara, she told me. No more questions?
Will this
Nope.
presentation be available afterwards?
Yes, yeah, they were recording it.
Not be watching that.
Stop, I know.
Any other questions about your families, about
I know.
yourself? Make this over the.
Hopefully it makes you feel simple. Put a bunch of stuff in a bowl and enjoy it.
Coffee, is that forever?
No, that's for person and talk about this.
And it was like, you know, you can introduce like something else. I got coffee like right away.
First thing.
A rule of thumb is 2 weeks. Okay, rule of thumb is 2 weeks. But it could be different for different people in a different role.
I might have to live alone.
Treat and I would have like a tea or
Mhm.
drop. Don't miss it.
And then
Like
you
it's
just say,
like the ritual. Morning, nice in the morning. So I've been like, all right. And
It's more balanced. Like she said, it's not the overload. So Neil's gonna have anything else to sit on.
It's okay.
yeah.
I told you. You want some food?
Also, like, if you're gonna
Yeah,
have
doing
it
that.
in the morning, you don't have it on completely empty.
You have a
Level too. And then like wait a little bit, like have a tiny breakfast. Right. Things that you can manage to portable, like.
So I'm taking I'm kind of like, you know how I've done gluten, sugar and grains kind of every week. But I'm also taking the drink that the before meals as well. So I've
Yeah.
kind of accelerated that process.
Yeah.
When do you cut out the drink? I've just kept going with it.
The cranberry juice?
Yeah.
You just keep going with it.
Yeah, you just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, I was saying,
I don't really start the shake. Like when we start the detox shakes, maybe don't drink.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, I'll ask,
Yeah.
I mean, surely it's stopping your spike as well, your insulin spike, if it's got
Yeah.
sugar in it as well. I'm sure that would help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
For like the bone rise.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And stop drinking.
Okay, yeah,
The drink, the cranberry,
so on actual detox, okay, from
It's for your, to help your kidney system start functioning.
okay,
So I've had examples where people got rid of the kidney stones from,
wow,
or the prostatitis improved.
Yeah.
Or, just they felt a burst of energy because their kidneys didn't have that much load.
Hmm.
So it's a great thing for even like a postmenopausal woman with urinary urgency. Ton of good things come out of it. It just balances your pH.
Yeah.
And people who have had slow gut movement, basically, I'm just trying to be polite here. Basically, constipation. They benefit a lot because we put in the black seeds.
Yeah.
You're giving that dose 3 times a day. And you can switch up chia seeds versus flax seeds or whichever one. If you have an issue with the cholesterol, or people who have heart conditions or whatever, I would advise more flaxseed over chia seeds. Or if somebody is dealing with more inflammation like joint pains or flaxseed has much better omegas. So that's over chia seeds. Chia seeds are higher in protein. So flax seeds are more anti-inflammatory. That's the difference.
So basically flaxseed,
That's
that's better,
Any day.
tastes better than cranberries.
That's true.
Chia seeds These they taste.
Yeah.
They get slimy.
Chia seed pudding or something instead of overnight oats because they thicken up.
Okay.
And get that.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
taste in my mouth, it's like.
Yeah. drink it, but like,
People use chia seeds for egg substitute.
yeah.
Slimy and.
Yeah.
And it has the same amount of protein.
Hmm.
What else, guys? All good?
More food. If you are.
You guys have any other questions,
You can
Cassandra or
unmute them.
Rita?
Do you wanna unmute?
You can unmute yourself if you want to ask.
I'm good.
Good? All right. Can't hear you.
Yeah. Drop it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording. Thank you for being here, Cassandra and Rita. I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, bye.